Jesse, what's up?
Hey, nothing much. I just finished this first draft of the script. I want you to check it out.
You did? Nice. What's it about?
Well, I kind of want you to read it and tell me what you think.
Okay. Do you think this could be something we could do, like together, or like a project, our next project?
Absolutely.
What's it called?
Stockholm.
To make your death as short as
I don't
possible,
think McNaught
but
is that
make it as
idiot.
full as possible. So I mean, it's like just give it 1,000,000% at first. You just, it's like, oh, that's hideous. Oh,
Someone's out.
oh, like you grab you, like it's just burning. You clutch your chest. You can't. Your gun goes off. You just fucking crash into this, and then you die.
Is there any convulsions there at the end?
Yes, your leg needs to fucking twitch a couple times, but make sure when it twitches, you're off like that far apart.
The word Stockholm can mean several different things. It's the capital of Sweden. There was the famous ocean liner. And of course, its intended meaning in our film is Stockholm Syndrome. But in my circle, the word has become synonymous with mythical creatures such as Bigfoot, the Yeti, and of course, Bat Boy. This is the story on the making of Stockholm. Over the next couple months, we went back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, until we had a solid story. We thought we were home free until we moved into the next phase, funding this damn thing. So we did what any hard-working, responsible adults do when they get stuck.
I became involved because Bo called me on the phone and pleaded with me to give $1,000 for props and different things that they needed for the movie, and he promised me that every penny that I gave him would be used for the movie, and it would make a big difference in the production of the movie.
We were determined to pay her back, plus a little extra, with all the residuals that were going to come pouring in when we finished this thing. Or so we thought.
I don't know, whatever's right. It's gonna sound like a garden hose. None of the sounds in here are gonna work for
There's going to be
this.
enough tape back there.
Okay.
It's going to be longer.
I mean, would you
I can
agree?
feel it falling
Yeah,
off
we don't have
already.
to do sound. Okay,
Sure.
good.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. That way, we don't have to do sound. We can fix it later in post.
All right.
Galen, he's such a hardcore smoker that he bursted a blood vessel in his eye.
I remember the first time that happened to me.
I quit for 3. Okay. Do you want to say it exactly that way, or
Exactly.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Really?
As you're playing it, that's good.
Okay.
Let's see how it looks. Let's see how it
Why
plays
don't
out.
Why don't you just take your thumb and just kind of, well, maybe on the side of it. Wait, on the other, like where, the way you're holding it, just lower your thumb though. There you go, and just go. Yeah, but maybe even more subtle, a little bit more slow. Yeah, just keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Okay.
And hold on. Action.
We have 2 ways out.
The plan was simple. Bo and I were going to co-direct this thing and get it out the door in 5 days, with a post-production of about a month. Then the day of filming, I got sick. Real sick. So I got demoted to the token white guy that gets whacked with the shovel. There were arguments, pointing of fingers, talking behind people's backs. It was like we were running for office or something. But at the end of the day, we were all friends and really happy this thing was over. Then I realized this can't handle HD footage, so Bo took the tapes back down to California to edit himself.
Hey Jesse, me and the tapes made it back safely to California. We start digitizing everything and should have a rough cut of something to show you in a month.
During those 4 years, Bo got kicked out of the family house, couch surfed for a while, lived in his car, tried to edit Stockholm, lived on a boat, got kicked off the boat, moved into a frat house, tried to edit Stockholm, everybody got kicked out of the frat house, took a trip to Juneau to help film After This, Therefore Because of This, finally got his own apartment, tried to edit Stockholm, got sent to rehab in Hawaii, got out of rehab and went back to the family house, spent a month in Seattle working on another project, moved to Juneau and stayed with Jesse, filmed the Dyer trilogy, tried to edit Stockholm, got kicked out of Jesse's house, moved into his grandmother's house, got kicked out of his grandmother's house, moved back into his grandmother's house, ordered a new computer to finish Stockholm.
Come on.
I'm not really sure. I think it could be. I'm not really sure what it's all about.
Stockholm is about a woman who thinks that she has her life all together. She's trying to keep it together, holding on to one little piece at a time, and nothing's going right for this girl.
Okay, the movie is about a girl who gets kidnapped by the guy next door.
She has a terrible day at work. Nobody cares about her birthday. The love of her life, through political and social circumstances, is keeping her from everything she wants.
Reasonably average character who subdues her, and basically through torment, life-threatening, that kind of thing.
Everything that she could want or could do for herself is completely stripped from her, and she finds herself imprisoned in a guy's basement.
Convinces her psychologically that she is his friend, or he is her friend. And if done good, successfully, she actually buys it.
And with nothing and with no control, she ends up finding for the first time in her life a form of stability. And by being able to ask only one question a day, she's starting to realize just what's important. And slowly but surely, she may or may not be developing Stockholm Syndrome.
These losers asked me if I had an airplane ticket because I work for the airlines. And I said, okay, if I can be in your movie. Actually, you were that loser.
Or, if you use that, I hate you.
And this person said, yeah, you can have this small little role, and you can be a hitman. You say one line, you get shot and die. And I said, okay.
Alright, so I was a commercial boat captain, and my cousin would call me up typically while I was at work and go, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then he's like, hey, I got this story idea.
And then a week later, this person called me up and said, oh, by the way, your role has changed. You are no longer the hitman. You are now the abductor. And I said, the abductor. Okay. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a significant promotion, isn't it? I mean, the abductor, that's the bad guy.
I said, oh, tell it to me. And so he did, and he sent me the script, and I said, oh, this script is promised, maybe we can work on it together. So we bounced back and forth for like 6 or 7 months. I mean, draft 4, 6, 10. I mean, we pretty much went through the entire script, word for word, altering everything.
And I said, okay, well, what do I got to do? And he said, well, you don't got to be Christopher Walken or anything. All you got to do is just show up straight-faced, no smiles, no big smiles, just flat delivery, and that's it. And, by the way, you get to hit somebody with a shovel, and his brains explode everywhere, and it'll be great. And I said, cool, I'm in.
How was it on set? Okay. We had, in our complete naive state, a schedule of we can accomplish 30-something pages in a matter of 5 days. So unrealistic. It's a cosmic joke. Because we ended up leaving Alaska with just probably 2/3 of the film shot. I mean, there was at least 10 pages of script that we didn't even touch. And so on set, it was pretty chaotic. It was expected that Jesse and I were going to co-direct it. And then Jesse caught the avian bird flu and leprosy with probably a dose of, the zombie disease.
Well, given that I'd never done it before, not really. It was fun. It was a little bit dark. It was long, but all in all, it was a lot of fun. I got to be this horrible character, horrible bad man, and I felt kind of dirty.
And so now it was just me. And what worked was the eagerness and willingness of our 2 leads, John and Crystal, who cared so passionately about the material, from what I could see, that the best thing for us to get the movie done was to let them rehearse. And since then we've realized you just can't even start a movie without rehearsals, but back then it was just kind of expected. I mean, I expected. They've had the script, they should know the lines, they get there, they have the lines memorized, and then it's a matter of, okay, do it. But that wasn't the case, and with that amount of short time, I didn't have time to go out and block out every single scene with them detail by detail. So it was great that they could go off and work it out and come back to me and go, Bo, this is what we have. And then I would look at it and go, okay, we don't have time to get 37 different angles of this.
It was kind of like, I told a lot of my buddies, it was a little bit like playing baseball. It's all fun and games when you're in the dugout, and then when you go to the batter's box, if you're playing hardball, you got to bring your game with you, because you can get killed out there. And so, in my opinion, when it was like action, it was kind of like being in the batter's box. In baseball, if you win, if you do well in the batter's box, the whole team wins. And this acting gig was a lot the same. If I did well just during this short time, when all the attention was on me, then we all win. And so I kind of I try to approach it like that. But as soon as the cameras quit rolling, it was pretty much all fun and games and a lot of fun. But given the nature of the script, it was a little bit dark.
I'm just going to set the camera way back, try and hope to capture everything, get the lights out of there because we were working in the space of a closet, and then hit record. And some of the best moments in the entire movie was when it was just John and Crystal in one continuous camera shot, acting out the performance. And it was great. And one of the things that helped me was I didn't have the time to go in and do a close-up of this and an extreme close-up of that and an alternate angle, which I love to get as much coverage as I possibly can, and I usually way overshoot the movie. But in this instance, it worked out the best because I didn't have time to do that. And just letting the camera get it in one take, I think that's what really is going to serve the film in the final viewing, is the power of this and not allowing the audience a breather.
Sure, why not? If I was guaranteed it would get finished, absolutely.
I would, because overall that was a lot of fun. When people were sleeping, Crystal was getting 3 hours of sleep here before she had to go to work. You know, after just spending 18 hours in front of a camera in a very smoky, claustrophobic environment with an unnecessary amount of alcohol, or possibly, looking back, the necessary amount of alcohol to fuel us. I had the most fun, I think, with John. And I mean that because oftentimes Crystal would be asleep or she'd be off at work, and the only person there with me was John. And walking through the scenes and his just yearning to want to know every aspect of the production. Why would you put a light there? Why would you get something from this angle? Why would you do that? His questions caused me to rethink everything myself to give him an honest answer. Well, yeah, why would we do that? Well, that's because of that. So it was always like a confirmation or a reaffirmation. And then with John, he was the saving thing of this. With leaving Alaska without the film even being close to being finished, John was the one that would come down to Newport and go, let's get this done. He was the driving force. He was like, Bo, I need this, I need that. Ultimately, John became the producer of the film. The guy that started out as, hey, you need some plane tickets from me? I want at least in return a tiny role. Who ended up becoming the antagonist of the entire film, went from that role to the guy that ended up being the producer that helped get the entire film complete. Shot, produced, cut, done. John ended up being the producer of the whole film. What a rise! What a character arc for his first performance. You couldn't ask for a more dynamic characterization for somebody.
La 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 la.
I can totally see it, John.
How about now?
Oh my God! All right, and action. How much ask for? Start with
Shoot, my battery's almost dead.
big shooty shoot.
Right.
One moment, and action.
That's hideous.
Yeah.
A cigarette?
Okay, just forget about the camera. Just be yourself.
She has them.
That's it.
Got a smoke?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that supposed to be the same?
Oh my God! We have to reshoot the entire thing.